So this is the Lenovo S940, and this is a high-end, ultra-premium Ultrabook. It's one of the more expensive ones you can buy right now, but there's a lot of little neat engineering feats that make this Ultrabook so special. The first thing is you're getting a 14-inch laptop that's smaller than most 13-inch laptops. For example, I have the HP Envy over here, a 13-inch notebook. And when you compare the size, you can see that the Envy is much deeper, but a little less wide. The big area where it makes the difference is in its thickness. You're essentially getting a 12.2 millimeter thick laptop compared to the thicker HP Envy. Laptops are getting thinner and thinner, and the one area that Lenovo made a really big difference compared to other manufacturers is the way you get inside of here. You have to understand, I open up a lot of laptops, and the thinner and smaller they get, the more annoying they are to open up. A laptop like this, usually I'll have to take a tool and pry it into the creases. And when aluminum gets this thin, it is very easy to damage. So what Lenovo did was really great for people who want to upgrade their laptops. All you have to do is remove 4 screws and then pull on this little lip to remove the back plate. Boom. Very simple. Now, unfortunately, not much is upgradable. The only thing you can essentially upgrade is the M2 NVMe SSD. Look how they designed the battery around it to make this nice and compact. This is a very fast drive, so you're gonna get good read and write speeds. You have 2 fans to keep the CPU and GPU cool. Pretty impressive considering there's no dedicated graphics card inside of here. Battery is 51 watt hours, and I was getting about 5 to 6 hours of use before needing to charge. Now, the main reason why you buy this laptop is because of its display. This display is hands down one of the most beautiful displays I've seen in Ultrabook to date. This is a 14-inch display, it's IPS, it has beautiful color accuracy. Lenovo has contoured the glass into the frame of the laptop, giving it a nice, sleek look. And what you get with that is very thin bezels. And the way they did this, instead of putting a nose cam on the bottom of the display or underneath a key, they used a reverse notch. Now, unfortunately, like every other Ultrabook on the market, this one has a bad webcam. It's only 720p, so it's not the best look if you're having a video conference for a very important meeting. The other thing is the infrared sensors. Not only do you get Windows Hello, you also get some AI capabilities. And I say AI very lightly. Basically, it uses eye detection, and the moment you get up from your desk, it will notice that and automatically lock your screen to prevent any sort of theft or confidential information being stolen. Sound is very interesting. I am surprised they packed 4 speakers inside of here. You have 2 on top of the deck and 2 on the bottom. It has Dolby Atmos packed inside, and of course it has Amazon Alexa baked into it if you enable it. And the result of this is very good sound. It's not like so loud it's gonna fill up a large size room, but it's crisp on the high end. I love the mids. The only area it's kind of suffering in is when it comes to the bass. Now, the big deal is actually the performance. This is using the i7-8560U, so it has enough power for basic productivity tasks. Like, you're not gonna be editing 4K video on this unless you hook it up to an external GPU, but for Photoshop, for Excel, for programming, for any of those sorts of situations, this laptop can more than handle it. Now, is it the fastest i7-8565U I've tested? Absolutely not. The Razer Blade Stealth 13 is much faster. Same with the Huawei MateBook 14. All of those CPUs performed better in my PC Mark test. Now, this brings me into heat. I ran this thing at full load for about an hour. The keyboard gets a little bit hotter than other Ultrabooks. It kind of hits almost 50 degrees Celsius. I'm okay with that as long as it's not going over it, so they did a pretty good job of keeping the CPU cool. Now, before I talk about the keyboard, there's 2 things I forgot to mention. The hinge on the display is a little bit loose. I wish they tightened it up a little bit. And also, the degree that you can push it back to is kind of limited. This is how far the display goes back. Now, the keyboard is using Lenovo's signature U-shaped keys, but it's not one of their better keyboards. I find there to be a little bit too much flex in the deck itself, and the keys are a bit mushy with a shallow travel distance. You do have that backlighting in case you need it, and the touchpad is a good size. Now, unfortunately, even though the touchpad is using Windows precision drivers, It's not the best touchpad I've used. There's a little bit of a delay here and there when you're moving around the mouse, and it doesn't feel as clean as it should be. So here are my closing thoughts. The two reasons why you're buying this laptop is for its form factor, the ability to get a 14-inch laptop that's smaller than most 13-inch laptops while keeping the weight at 2.5 pounds. And the second reason is for the 4K display. It's HDR, it's beautiful to look at, and whether or not you need all of that screen real estate on a 13-inch laptop totally depends on the type of work you do. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this something you can see yourself carrying? Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.